1945. The guns fell silent. The war was over, but the peace that followed was not won on the battlefield. Bombed buildings, empty streets, then switched to U.S. factories and gold vaults. While Europe burned, America built. While empires collapsed, Washington rose. And when the dust settled, the United States held two-thirds of the world's gold and a brand new kind of power, not military, not territorial, but financial. See dollar notes printing, Wall Street crowds cheering. This is the story of how America turned the dollar into an empire, one that conquered the world without firing a single shot. Old maps of the British Empire, ships, gold coins, London banks. For over a century, the world's money spoke with a British accent. The pound sterling ruled the oceans, the colonies, and the banks. From India to Africa, trade flowed through London. But two world wars changed everything. Britain borrowed, and borrowed again. By 1944, the empire that once financed the world was broke, and the creditor it owed the most money to was the United States. The old empire was falling. The new one was about to be born. New Hampshire mountains, black and white film of delegates entering a hotel. In July 1944, nations met at a quiet resort in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. Officially, they were there to rebuild a broken world. Unofficially, the United States was there to redesign it in its own image. The deal was simple and brilliant. Every currency would now be tied to the US dollar, and the dollar itself would be tied to gold. If you wanted gold, you needed dollars. If you wanted dollars, you had to trade with or borrow from America. Diagrams of gold to dollar conversion, post-war trade maps. And just like that, the dollar became the backbone of global finance. Not through conquest, but through contracts. Post-war Europe in ruins, cargo ships arriving with American aid. Europe was starving, factories destroyed, currencies worthless. So America offered a lifeline, the Marshall Plan. $13 billion in aid, but only in dollars. American money rebuilt Europe, but it also created dependence. Every brick, every machine, every barrel of oil was bought in dollars. In the name of rebuilding the world, the U.S. quietly built something else, a dollar-based global system. Nixon on TV, oil crisis headlines, 1970s chaos footage. In 1971, President Richard Nixon shocked the world. He ended the dollar's link to gold. The promise of Bretton Woods was gone. Oil lines, inflation charts, Middle East tension. The dollar should have died that day. Instead, it evolved. The United States struck a secret deal with Saudi Arabia. Every drop of oil sold worldwide would be priced only in dollars. In return, America would protect the kingdom. Text on screen. Oil replaced gold. Now every country, from Germany to Japan, needed dollars to buy oil. And to get those dollars, they had to sell goods to America or borrow from American banks. This was the birth of the petrodollar system, the invisible engine of modern American power. Wall Street, IMF headquarters, skyscrapers at night. With the petrodollar in place, the U.S. didn't need colonies anymore. It had something far more powerful, control over money itself. Nations held dollars as reserves. Banks traded in dollars. Corporations borrowed in dollars. Dollar bills overlaid with global maps. And whenever a country couldn't pay its debts, the IMF stepped in, offering help in exchange for control. The United States could print what the world demanded. It exported inflation, imported real goods, and called it globalization. Power without occupation, empire without borders. That's the genius of the dollar empire. BRICS meetings, digital currencies, China's trade ships. But history has a pattern. Every empire, Roman, British, Spanish, believed its power would last forever. Today, America faces its greatest challenge yet. Nations like China, Russia, and Brazil are moving away from the dollar. Digital currencies are rising. Trust in paper money is fading. The world that America built may one day move beyond it. World map glowing with dollar signs fading to black. Empires rise not because of armies, but because of belief. The world believes in the dollar, for now, but when that belief fades, so will the empire.